Hey everyone, welcome to the Movie Throne. I'm your host, the one and only King freaking Kansas, here to bring you another quick and short podcast episode your way. I think it's number 75, guys. Kind of like a milestone. It's number 75. A lot of big things happen. 75th of anything. In particular, if you guys are a comic book fan or nerd, was it Wolverine number 75 is when the adamantium got pulled out from Wolverine by Magneto. But anyways, that's a side note. But 75 episodes of this, here, give or take, over 2-3 years, because I haven't been consistent. But don't worry, moving forward, there's going to be a new game plan. King is going to be more consistent with podcasts, more moving in the future, because I got other projects I got to get to. And King's not getting any younger, guys. His beard's getting grayer, and I'm getting older. So anyways, time could be running out. And especially today, tomorrow, scheduled surgery, so I might not be able to talk for like 3-4 days. So you're welcome. I know all you guys are probably cheering there at the King's expense, but it's okay. Gonna get back on track with a whole bunch of other little side things that I'm working on, and I'll make it short and sweet. And if you guys can see already by the thumbnail, there's not going to be a lot of reviews, guys. I haven't had a lot of personal matters to deal with and stuff. The big hot topic of this podcast episode is the new Karate Kid Legends movie that just came out. And of course, the looming legacy of Cobra Kai that had over it, and how it probably affected the box office numbers for this thing, or even our expectations, how they got kind of like affected by the success of Cobra Kai, and what maybe how it kind of played a part of its undoing of this film personally. Okay, guys, let's get to the review, and then I'll blab about my thoughts on how Cobra Kai affected Karate Kid Legends. Okay, guys. First of all, I went in with a little bias, probably like everybody else. Our expectations level were probably big because the King just recently watched, probably about 3-4 months ago. You guys can watch it, my Cobra Kai complete series review. I watched all, 5 or 6 or 8 seasons of it. Binge watched it over 2 weeks' time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Walked in, I'm like, oh God, Cobra Kai, what the hell? People are hyping this thing up. Another, K-pop situation that everybody got excited, and then it just went gangbusters. But no, that was legit. And based on that, with the backstory with Johnny Lawrence and Ralph Macchio's character still hating each other after all these years, and Johnny wanted revenge, how was it going to affect this movie? Is it going to be a continuation from what we saw at the finale, that everybody went their separate ways? Is it going to pick up? So a little bit of that in your head, and this is probably what kind of affected this. Anyways, okay, so basically, guys, spoiler alert, there's going to be spoilers. If you haven't watched Karate Kid Legends, your fault. It kind of does pick up, but it doesn't pick up. It's not related to Cobra Kai directly, okay? The only connection is Mr. Miyagi and Jackie Chan's characters were friends back way in Beijing or something like that when they crossed paths, and whether they trained with each other, I have no clue, or the depth and all that. But apparently, that's how Jackie Chan is connected to this universe and stuff. So there's no Jaden Smith in that other Karate Kid movie that I didn't even bother to watch. So you got this young kid played by Ben Wong. Li Fong, I think his name was in the movie. Him and his older brother were in the martial arts, karate, business or whatever. He had won a tournament, his older brother, and something tragic happened. His brother gets killed, and his mother, who's a doctor, decides to uproot herself and her son and go to New York City and kind of start over. But he was told, don't do karate. Just live a normal life, get an education, keep out of trouble, and that's all she wrote. That doesn't work that way, guys. So he ends up meeting this girl who he kind of slowly has a thing for, and she's kind of like not seeing, or maybe broke up or distanced herself from an old boyfriend. Who's the baddie? The baddie in this case, his name is Connor. Okay, Joshua Jackson is this kind of like pizzeria owner, this girl that he meets for the first time because I guess he bumps into her pizza or something and kind of gets involved in a crazy situation. He gets beat up. And of course, that kind of inspires him to kind of get to Joshua Jackson's character, who was a fighter, to train him in the ring. Something tragic. Well, he goes to fight because he owes some money to somebody. Gets into a fight. Things go left on there. He ends up in the hospital. Kind of triggers his trauma of his brother not being there and helping him out, you know. So that kind of forces him to take up the mantle, go training. He gets, well, Jackie Chan's character shows up out of the blue, pretty much. Takes him on, and there's a cool fight scene in the apartment until the mother comes home and whatever the hell. And while he kind of starts training, he goes, you know what? He needs something else. He needs another style of fighting. So that's when he goes to California, visits Daniel, convinces him indirectly to come back and help train this kid so he can turn his life away around using his, Miyagi-Do technique. So that's what happens. You got a little montage of, Jackie Chan's character and Ralph Macchio's character, Daniel and and Mr. Wan, I think his name is, or something like that. Am I right? Want to make sure. Mr. Han, shoot the king. Anyways, so they try to train him, and, they little butt heads a little bit here and there. So they end up training the kid. Kid fights on a rooftop against this bad guy who literally can take him out like no problem. Beginning, that's what happens. Scoring points or whatever. There's a crowd on top of the roof. I'm surprised nobody fell off the roof and whatever during this. Couple of crazy moves here and there. And as a result, the kid overcomes him, beats him. Everybody's all happy and blah, 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 blah. That was pretty much the gist. The highlight of the movie for me, guys, was the post-credits scene. When you see Mr. Han delivered a pizza to Daniel in California, and apparently it's like $1,000 shipping charge for it, and kind of like haha laughs. And who's standing right behind him? Mr. Johnny Lawrence. And then there was a quick, maybe about a minute, 2-minute kind of bickering between them. Oh, I got a good idea for Miyagi-Do bread, pizza dough, and then kind of making jokes with the toppings and stuff like that. The 2 or 3 minutes when those two were on screen, I got excited. To me, that was like the highlight. That even if the movie was so-so, it knocked it out of the park when I saw those two, and I'm like, if your mind triggers yourself watching just not even 2 minutes, and that's where you go and kind of like brings a smile to your face, you're like, why didn't they implement this into the movie itself? But overall, it was a pretty good film. Like, I liked it more than I thought I did, Is it the best thing I've seen? No. But it would have been nice to incorporate Johnny in there more. Like, if they had him throughout the whole thing, great. Ralph Macchio, Daniel was only in it for maybe, I want to say 5 to 7 minutes. And Jackie Chan's character, maybe 10 or 15 himself. Other than that, it was just the kid getting beat up in school by these bullies and this guy, Connor, and then meets this girl, and then they kind of fall for each other and then fighting. Like, that was pretty much it. It wasn't like something super deep that you couldn't follow. It was basic. It was almost like trying to repeat the first Karate Kid with a new kid and kind of start things all over again, and different techniques and little jokes here and there, references the old Karate Kid first film and stuff like that. And it was cool to bring up Mr. Miyagi and Jackie Chan's character and all that. I get where they were trying to go with this whole legacy, but I still don't understand. Legends part doesn't make sense, right? But unless you're referring to Lawrence and Johnny Lawrence and Daniel, right? But yeah, I just couldn't understand, based on that, why they didn't use any of the Cobra Kai cast in there a little bit more. Like, you could have had Daniel's daughter, Samantha, and Robbie or something, Miguel, be a part of it. Even Kenny, for God's sakes. Like, be more relevant, like follow them maybe going to New York City, and then this is where they meet the new kid, and kind of like have them as a side support character, just to kind of make things a little bit more interesting. Because honest to God truth, it affected its box office once they found out that Ralph Macchio wasn't more a part or involved. Because in the trailer, it looked like him and Jackie Chan might have been more involved in the film rather than the little part they did have. And I guess once people found out that they weren't in the damn film as much as they should have been, it didn't do too well. Like, I don't think it did well in the box office. I don't got the box office numbers, but it wasn't a huge hit that I was expecting it. And I don't know if it was trying to write the coattails of Cobra Kai, Because that series, honest to God, I can watch that thing tomorrow again. And before I could honestly, no, I'm not watching this Karate Kid. And especially if you're trying to get new eyeballs to watch something, and you want this movie to be a continuation, that you can get them to watch Cobra Kai so they can spurn or get more spin-offs of Cobra Kai. Like, if they're doing a Mr. Miyagi prequel series that explains how he becomes who he is, and then he meets Daniel, and it leads into the Karate Kid. Like, there's no direct ties besides Ralph Macchio showing up and Johnny Lawrence in the post-credit scene to that universe, right? And they should have done it. Would have made more money if they had at least 2, possibly even 3, or even one of the kids from Cobra Kai to kind of be a main support character to this new kid who maybe trains them and kind of go from there. And then when things don't work, if something, say, maybe tragic happens, then you get Ralph Macchio or even Johnny. I wish maybe they would have took Johnny, that Johnny went to the city and then he meets this kid and he kind of does what Mr. Miyagi did for Daniel, but he does that with this kid rather than Jackie Chan's character. I think they should have let Jackie Chan out of it, to tell you the truth. That's what I think they should have done. The characters weren't developed deeply when they should have. Like, you didn't really care about the main character besides him losing his brother and whatever. He was phenomenal in the movie, don't get me wrong. He can move. He did a pretty damn good job. Even Ming Na, oh my God, his mother, she's ageless. She's like, I think 60. Am I allowed to say that? But she looks like she's like in her 30s, man. Like, and she acts the hell of it every time she's on there. Great screen presence. Even she wasn't in the movie a lot, which she should have been, But little things like that, they should have factored in Cobra Kai and its success, and it overshadowed this film easily. It gobbled it up, guys. It's lore and whatever, legacy, ate up this legend movie, Like I said, I expected a little bit more. I think fans expected a lot more, and that's why the box office numbers took a tumble, and it didn't do good or didn't land as much as it should have. And it's a good little movie. It's not a great movie. It could have been better movie, in my personal opinion. But that's, the God honest truth that Cobra Kai should have had more ties connected to that movie so they can create that universe if that's what their goal was and move forward. If they wanted to start something different, they did it, but it didn't land because you got to use what formula worked for them. And you got to use characters like Johnny, Daniel more often. Any of the kids, put them in this damn movie. It would have been a lot better. Like, you would care about it and you would get that crowd to watch the movie and help propel it in a different direction, and then develop your new character a little bit more deep to care about them so you can watch them and move other movies. Like, I really personally don't care if we don't see this kid again in another movie because I'm not connected to him like I am to Johnny and all the kids that were in Cobra Kai. Like, maybe because it was a TV series and you had time to develop the characters and kind of follow them and kind of feel, something for those characters. Just like how Marvel did with their MCU with the Avengers until, Endgame and stuff. Like, to feel something behind it. This was kind of like a little hollow, shallow, in many facets. But anyways, don't want to bash the film. It's a good film. You guys seen it? Let me know your comments in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you rather them not do it at all? Was it a hit for you? Was it a miss? To me, I think it was a big miss on many levels, box office wise, using the history of Cobra Kai, origins, and all the characters that they had at their disposal. They didn't execute it well, my personal opinion. So there you guys. That's my official Karate Kids Legend movie review and podcast episode. Short, simple, sweet. I'll be off probably, guys, at least 3-4 days. I'm going to try and be back here Friday to do another podcast episode. I'm trying to do my best to do so. If not, you're just going to get it next week, Monday, when I'm completely healed and I can yell, and talk, actually. That's the whole thing. Because if I can't talk, I can't do any videos. So either way, tune in, watch our other reviews and all that fun stuff. Podcast episodes. I know you guys are not going to die if it's a little bit quiet over the next, 3-4 days on YouTube land without the king. I'll be back next week for sure on Monday, but I'm going to try and aim for probably Friday. I'm going to do my best, guys, okay? So until then, be the hell good, stay off the king's throne, and I'll see you guys where? Right here on YouTube land.